Hello my friend, James Hands here from Awaken Therapy. Today I wanted to speak with you about the true self. As you know, I'm writing a book which is called From Trauma Survivor to Soul Warrior. The subtitle is Reconnect to Your True Self. And by the way, the pre-sale campaign goes for a few weeks. This is a way to become an early supporter, get on board, help me get this thing published, and get a whole lot of bonuses along the way. So check the link below, have a look at the pre-sale website. But let's talk about true self. What are we reconnecting to? What's the whole point of it? Well, as we all know, we have a sense of lack. We have a sense of something missing. We kind of have a knowing, don't we? Deep in our mind, deep in our heart, that somehow there's more to life, there's more to us, there's more to existence than just what we experience as our human body, brain, personality. And we cover that up, we get busy, we get distracted, we can pour alcohol on it, we can do a million things, and there's a never-ending bucket list really of things that we can involve ourselves in the world. And look, a lot of that stuff is just wonderful and fun. In fact, a lot of that on a deeper level is very purposeful. But if we're not connecting to something deeper, if we're not connecting to purpose, if we're not finding a deeper meaning somehow in our life, then there's a sense of emptiness that tends to grow over time. And it doesn't matter how flash or wonderful or special or, glamorous the lifestyle we're living on the planet, if we haven't got this deeper connection inside, it can all start to feel very meaningless and empty. And a lot of people find this, especially, you get to retirement age perhaps, and they've spent their whole life chasing these things, and once they've got them, they just, end up feeling depressed. So we know, our inner wisdom knows. It is wisdom, and it's wise. There's this deep sense that there's more to us, there's more to life, there's a deeper, truer level of reality. Some people call this the absolute that lies beyond the relative reality of our body and the world in time and space. The absolute, the deeper, is talking about the soul, the spiritual, the enduring, something beyond time and space, something that doesn't change, something that's not fleeting, a sense of self or a greater personality, if you like, a spiritual personality that doesn't die, that doesn't come and go, that doesn't fluctuate, that's not cast around on the waves of life. And so this is really the truer self. This is the deeper self that we're looking for. And the beauty of doing therapy, inner work, psychology, we might start in the trauma work, and this is what my book's really about, is that we might start in that heavy lifting of working through all those very difficult emotions and memories, experiences of life challenges and traumatic experiences and abuse and all the incredibly difficult things we go through. But as we keep processing that, as we keep healing that out, what we're doing is we're de-identifying from the pain. We're de-identifying, or we're undoing that identification we tend to have with the external and what's happened to us and all that more separated egoic self stuff. So as we keep healing through that, eventually what's happening is, because we're creating space within our psyche, within ourself, there's room for greater light to shine in. There's room for different consciousness, different awareness of who we are to enter in. And so eventually therapy always becomes a spiritual process, because in that space, well, what's going to come in? Truth is what's going to come in. And the true self that then shines in that space, we know it as a remembering. It's like waking up out of a dream, isn't it? Where we get this sense of like, there it is. There's that sense of self that's more peaceful or more expansive or more joyful. We all have little moments of that, fleeting moments of that, when our team wins the grand final, or we watch a beautiful sunset, or just something wonderful happens. We get fleeting glimpses of that because there's an expansion of consciousness, a lifting of consciousness, takes us up in a higher vibration, takes us to the greater mind, and there it's like, we're back home. We're back in that deeper, truer self. But then we sort of go back into that contracted, separated self that we're existing as in our human experiencing in the relative reality of form. But what if we could establish ourselves more securely in that greater self? What if we could anchor ourselves in that deeper, truer, more real soul self? What if from there we could anchor ourselves into the absolute being the greater reality of God, of Source, of Goddess, of Christ, of all that is. This is where we find what we're all looking for. We tend to look in the wrong places, but this is, when we're looking in the right places, this is what we're really looking for, is this enduring sense of stability and depth. And so whether you call it your Buddha nature, there's a little seated Buddha over there, or your greatest self, Paradise Rose, that rose that Tia painted, that's the final painting in her initial series of spiritual paintings. It's called Paradise Rose, and that represents very much our true self, or our soul, or our Atman, or our spirit, or our Buddha nature, our Christ consciousness. It's talking about the divine radiance of our holy greater self, because our greater self is holy. It's created by holiness. It is as God created us, and nothing's going to change that. So Paradise Rose is a beautiful, energetic expression of that. Or you might see it as that light in the corner. However you want to characterize the true self, it is that place of light and life. And whatever name feels right for you, some people don't like the God word, some people prefer Source or all that is, depending on what resonates for you. But we're all talking about the same thing. What it comes back to is that essential self that we all are, that we're all eternally connected to, but are asleep. We're in an illusory state of separation. To whatever degree we're misaligned from that true self, from that soul. And our whole journey, the collective purpose, we have lots of individual purposes and karmas and things, but our shared purpose is to simply remember who we are. I wish you well on that journey of remembering who you are, and I invite you to check out my book, pre-order, become an early supporter. There's lots of benefits there, lots of perks there for getting on board early, pre-ordering this book, and it's a wonderful benefit to me. It's a wonderful help just in terms of encouraging me and getting the whole publishing journey to the next stage, possibly even being able to put out an audio book if there's enough support. So please check out the link below. Appreciate any and all support very greatly, and I hope you've enjoyed our reconnecting with true self today.